Mic check. Here you go. I was gonna do a pod with Luke.
You can pod with Luke.
Okay, Luke, we're gonna
just get real close and
let's do one question.
I'm Josh. Hey, dude.
I brought 6 microphones. Hey, how we doing? Hey, I just need to be in here real quick. Don't freaking leave. You're going to be listening to a little couch pod with Luke Dawson and I. 10 minutes, couple questions, really good stuff. But I wanted to hop on here and let you guys know that I filmed a baseball facility tour of advanced therapy and performance with Dr. Josh Heenan in Stamford, Connecticut on our last trip. And then I also have 4 different videos coming out from our trip at ATP of exercise tutorials with Dr. Heenan. So be on the lookout, YouTube. I hope you guys enjoy this podcast episode with Luke Dawson, aka Throw Chet. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, sorry, Jules is in the background eating. See you guys. Okay, Luke, serious question.
No excuses.
You having worked with, say, hundreds of athletes through here?
I'd say, yeah, probably.
Yeah, so probably
200 to 300.
Yeah, and would you say they're majority like youth, like 12 to 18 athletes?
Yeah, and a good amount of college guys as well.
Yeah, college guys are probably going to be a little bit more like hands-off instruction, or is that?
It really depends on each person.
You want me to move them and talk right now? Like, Joe?
That's kind of funny. That's why it's just authentic, dude.
We'll just blur you out or
we're just hanging out. We can do a Gaussian, inverted, obviously. Don't look in the fridge. Luke, what do you think is like the most important piece to get across to a youth athlete when you're like giving one-on-one pitching instruction?
I wouldn't say this is something I talk about always in my sessions.
Because you don't talk?
I'm talking right now, but you have to be able to learn and develop a love for the game. Because that's how you're going to keep playing and you're going to love it. And when you can do that, you keep going and that's how you get better.
Yeah, it feels
good. But if you hate it, you're not going to want to be around it.
So how do you, being an instructor, like how do you inspire them to like fall in love with it? What is it? Is it something like proactively you're doing?
Yeah, I think for the younger guys, it's like really making it fun.
Yeah.
You know, like the kids who are like 11, 12.
Yeah, that's really good.
They got to make it fun and gamify it a little bit. I think a lot of the high school guys, they have a pretty good idea of why they love it, but also figuring out like why they are doing it.
Yeah.
Figuring out their why.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you can't push them. I think it has to be something that it comes from them.
Yeah.
Like you can push them a little bit, but you can't make them want it.
Well, you probably have a good idea too, like what kids come in, not depending on the age, but like what kids come in that do love it, and you can probably like push them a little bit more.
Like whose parents are like putting them here, and who like the kids are like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, is that a high number that you see of like kids that come in just to come in because everyone else is doing it, or like
no?
What do you
I think we're pretty lucky. We have a good population of actually want to get better and are here because they want to.
Yeah.
And they want to like go on to play at a higher level.
Sure.
And I think a lot of them know why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Some guys like need to figure it out a little bit more, but they're still really, really young.
Right. Are you dealing with like parents, like communicating with parents throughout this whole process? Is that something like you got to encourage them with in terms of getting their kid to love the sport? Is that anything you're doing with them?
I mean, we honestly don't have like too much
interaction.
Parents. Yeah. I mean, like check in every now and then. Some parents are a little bit hands-on, but overall, like I think they have a good trust of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's good. I mean, you know, there's nothing like worse than the parent which like I don't really deal with, but like parents who come in and like try and tell the coach like what their kid needs. Yeah,
or the parent that's more passionate about the sport than the kid is, or that probably makes it more of a burden for the kid.
Yeah,
that's something that I want to do more stuff on, but like I get asked all the time, like from parents, like how do you make the kid like love it? Because like obviously a lot of the content I'm producing is like showcasing my authentic love for the game. But like that's just from, playing it and me personally falling in love with it for my own specific reasons. But it's always interesting, like when someone asks you that question, like how do you get someone to fall in love with it? How do you get someone to fall in love with like the grind, the process,
And I don't think I did that until college. Yeah. Like, I always loved playing baseball, but like the practice side of things and like the working out was like in high school, it was like so-so. But I remember growing up, like my brother like always wanted to play catch.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I would just be like, I don't want to do this. Right
older
now.
Brother, younger brother?
Older brother. He's older. But then when I got to college, it was kind of like, I don't know, something like clicked. And
clicked for like the enjoyment of it?
Yeah, like the enjoyment of like all aspects of it.
Yeah, the work.
Which like doesn't have to be a thing for everyone. Yeah. But for me, like that was a big piece of it. Like I enjoyed like practice, and some people sit around and like complain at practice.
Right.
And they're out there or in summer ball. College summer ball guys love to like complain about being there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed like
some of you can't explain though, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't know why you love
guys who are like super high level that I know like don't enjoy like working out.
I was going to ask you that next.
I mean, there's some guys. I mean, there's some guys who play in the major leagues.
Well, I was going to ask you, like my personal experience has kind of shown me like baseball and like performing well. It can't be like your top priority. You know, you got to kind of have this like, yeah, I love it. I'm going to do everything, you know, dedicate my life to it. But like, there's always got to be something else in someone's life foundationally, right? That you don't put all your, you know, effort into the performance of things and lose your identity every Thursday.
Yeah, and just being able to go outside of like the field and just forget about baseball for a little bit.
Yeah.
If you have a bad day at the field and you just obsess over it, you know,
story of my life. Every day of my life. What last question, the guys on the wall, the jerseys. Put a little B-roll in there, kid. What do you see as like the main difference between the guys on the wall versus like the guys, you know, high school, college?
Yeah, just like the focus and idea of what they need to do to get better.
Yeah.
They come in with a very, very good plan, especially like, you know, I guess all the guys on the wall are major league guys, but I was thinking of just our pros in general.
Yeah.
They all have a really, really good idea of what they need to do going into the off season and what they need to improve upon.
Yeah. Does that stem from like them just maturing, or does that stem from like advanced therapy performance being a really good kind of foundational kind of training piece to someone's career? You know, like some people, like I know my first probably 2 or 3 off seasons, dude, I didn't really know what to do. They gave you a pamphlet, you know, but it's kind of like really cookie cutter to an extent, right? You're not really quite sure.
A lot of it still is like that, but I think it comes from a lot of different areas. Some stuff from like their org, some stuff from like, there's so much information out there. Guys do research on their own.
Yeah.
Some of it comes from us. Some of it comes from, you know, your teammates or people you're working with in here.
Yeah.
I think like the best thing is how like our pro guys interact and like share ideas with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you can attest to this, but I learned the most just like being around guys.
Sure.
You know, not always from coaches. And I tell that to my younger guys too.
Are you saying like learn the most in the bullpen of like just random facts of the world or baseball? Like how many satellites we have in space?
How many?
I don't know, but I've heard about satellites in the bullpen.
Yep.
More aliens.
Life skills.
Life skills. Hey, the thing that they wear on their belt, everyone's wearing it. What is that for?
Where are we looking?
Like, see the belt?
The hitter?
Yeah, so the hitter just wore one.
I think that's signs. It's usually like a grid.
College just signs like on the...
Yeah, so it'll be like a coordinate grid. So the coach will like say a number, and they look down at it, and it says the first number is like 8, and then the next number is like 4.
Holy
like that.
smokes!
You go to like 8 and 4, and
sign in Morse code.
It says like bunt or something like that.
Jeez, what if someone like loses their card and the other team gets it, and they just go?
A lot of times you can switch cards. Like
so it's like a bullpen like guy getting the.
But now I think for pitch calling they have like an electronic one that goes to the pitcher and the catcher. Yeah, I've been out of the college game for a little while, so.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what that looks like fully.
Me too. All right, Luke, our time's done, dude, but thanks for hopping on the Couch Chronicles at ATP. You're welcome for that name. We're going to need banners. You guys can check him out at ThrowChed. There's going to be no underscore there, not even a hyphen.
Throw.ched.
Never mind, there's going to be a dot or a period, however you say it. Ooh, a little open side mechanics.
What do we got in those jerseys?
The gray or white ones?
The gray. They go gray to white.
Do you spell gray with an A or an E?
With an A. Shout out Josiah.
Josiah. All right, let's do this. On to the next. That was actually good. We should do that again sometime soon. What are you doing tonight?